Should we let people hear from DQ and Jayden just because they were as disappointed and shocked as perhaps we are? I'm not. Is it Jayden starting? Because Jayden, you got to be impressed by his ownership and accountability because he jumps right into it.
We're going to start with DQ, and then you'll hear Jayden right afterwards.
Going in, I thought, could we play, better on third down and have some space? I thought we did that one, but just in the run game wasn't strong enough, in my opinion. And on the long one, obviously missed a tackle on the blitz, so that one stings. But again, I just didn't think we played well enough in any of the phases. Dug ourselves out of a hole, dug ourselves into it first, but we got a lot to clean up. Give them credit too. I thought they came in and made the plays, but you don't usually even have a chance to win at some of those at -3.
Kind of in a similar vein with the slow starts. You've had some kind of on the road. How concerning is it to have one at home? And I know we've asked you this before, but what can you do to kind of address that?
Yeah, it was on the road, and we did, continue with that when I talked about it previously. Going into it on the field goals, that's not the worst thing, but to have a turnover and get knocked out that way, I think that caused us to give up some points. So quite honestly, I think just the ball and the turnover margin, that's a big deal for us. We've got to create them to get into the plus, and so for us to 2 of them in the first half and 1 there at the end, that's not the recipe we're gonna want.
Over at the end there, was that what took place?
I just lost the ball. Completely my fault. Didn't give Bill a chance, so it was my fault.
Feeling now after losing a game that way with the turnovers? Obviously, you guys know you can't do that.
You win and lose. Obviously, as a competitor, you hate losing. But we got a short week, so you dwell on this forever, however long, and we on to Dallas.
Jayden, on the interception, what happened there?
Being aggressive, just go through my keys. But like I said, I didn't play how I hold myself to and how I should play, so I'll be better.
In your past, on the few occasions where you have had performances that aren't up to your standard, what's the week like for you going forward in terms of looking at those things and addressing?
It's just trusting myself, and I wouldn't even say trust myself. It's just trusting the plays and the keys, going through my keys, and being smart with the football. And there's time and a place for everything to be aggressive. And early on, we're driving, got momentum, we got points on the board. Don't make a throw like that, even though I know I can make a throw like that. So you just look back at it and you learn from it. That's kind of what this game is. If you win or you lose, you always learning from stuff, and you can always be better. You're not a perfect player because there's no perfect player on this field or in this league.
Again, impressive how Jayden takes ownership. Clearly, that's a frustrated guy. I think he controls his emotions pretty well, but knowing Jayden a bit, I can tell you he's incredibly frustrated, mad at himself. As always, Beltway Football is brought to you by our friends at MGM National Harbor. The Bears should go over there tonight because they got lucky as hell late in this game. They might just be on a blackjack heater. Get DeAndre Swift on a roulette wheel right now, man. The guy might go nuts. So much to unpack. I have a ton of notes. We got game balls and stuff and everything. But offensively in this game, the inability to run the ball. Mitch, it's your department, but the O-line kind of got their ass kicked throughout this thing. I thought it was his worst game as a commander. The left side was just leaky, man.
Yeah, Andrew Wiley wasn't good for a lot of the game today, and that too far downfield, the illegal man downfield from him was a really bad look. That defensive line had been terrible at getting after the quarterback, the Bears' defensive line, and yet they were able to get pressure on Jayden pretty regularly and often before Jayden could even get to a second look. And I wonder how much that interception that he threw to Jaquan Brisker trying to hit Deebo Samuel down the middle was in his head a little bit early, because there wasn't a lot of looks downfield. And I think part of that was maybe a little gun shy from the interception. Part of it had to have been that Bears D-line being able to get to him as much as he could. And I wonder if a little bit of that is also the Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt portion of being back there. He looked so good running the football, but he's not the best pass blocker as a running back. And now we have 2 straight games with Bill with a fumble, and Jayden was lucky to get that ball back that kind of dribbled on the ground to him. This was a sloppy performance on offense, and it's something that we've kind of tried to talk away a couple times as this season has gone on. But we're starting to get to the meat of the schedule here, and you got some tough games coming up. Dallas, obviously just lost to the Panthers, but they've put up a ton of points, and this Commanders defense hasn't stopped a whole lot of people. You got the Chiefs coming up. I mean, this offense is going to have to start getting itself into gear, and you're not going to win a whole lot of games when you turn the ball over 3 times and start out slow again, like we've seen over and over and over again from the squad. It's something that they got to figure out.